Imagine a man who trained in the Roman army, then turned its own tactics against Rome. A desert warrior who brought the mightiest empire of his time to its knees, at least for a moment. This is Tacfarinas, the African general the Romans feared. Welcome to the Histovian Tales. In this episode, we travel to ancient North Africa to uncover the story of Tacfarinas, a Numidian war leader whose rebellion rocked Rome's African frontier. We'll explore his rise, his tactics, why he mattered, and why his story still resonates today. In the early 1st century CE, the Roman Empire held large swathes of North Africa, modern Algeria and Tunisia. The region's nomadic tribes, such as the Musulamii, were often used as auxiliaries in Rome's armies. Among them emerged a soldier-turned-rebel named Tacfarinas. Born a Numidian, likely in the Musulamii tribe, he once served Rome. Then around AD 17, he deserted and began a guerrilla war against the empire. Tacfarinas knew Roman tactics from the inside. He trained his forces in Roman style, combining disciplined infantry, cavalry, desert horse archers. But he also leveraged what Rome most feared: mobility, the terrain, hit-and-run raids. The Roman historian Tacitus even described how Tacfarinas drew Roman legions into remote terrain, making logistic supply their weakness. By AD 2022, the rebellion had grown. It wasn't a simple tribal revolt. Tacfarinas organized an insurgency that forced Rome to send legions, reallocate troops, and rethink African policy. The war began with raids, but Tacfarinas escalated. In 17 CE, his Musulamii and allied tribes attacked Roman supply lines. Rome's 3rd Augusta Legion and auxiliaries were deployed under proconsul Marcus Furius Camillus. They won a battle, but the war dragged on. His tactic: never fight a full-scale pitched battle unless conditions favored him. Instead, he harassed, he denied Rome rest, he attacked the grain supply of Africa, a key resource for Rome. When Rome sent men and resources to Africa, the disturbance threatened more than the frontier. It touched the grain bins of the empire itself. Why did the Romans fear one Numidian rebel? Because he exposed their vulnerability. Africa was not just a side province, it supplied grain. Disrupting Africa meant threatening Rome's food security. Tacfarinas' mobility turned every Roman fort into a potential trap. Tacitus records that Rome feared the war would never end until the proconsul was chosen for military ability rather than politics. He retrained his men with Roman weapons and armor, combining them with desert tactics. The Senate noted his as an African Arminius, the German leader who challenged Rome. Despite his successes, Tacfarinas couldn't win forever. By AD 24, the proconsul Publius Cornelius Dolabella adapted his tactics: small mobile units, intelligence operations, Roman-style scouting. He found Tacfarinas at Auzea, modern Algeria, ambushed his camp, and Tacfarinas died in the fight. The rebellion ended, but its echoes lingered. Tacfarinas' legacy matters for several reasons. First, he reminded us that empires can be challenged from within their auxiliaries and frontiers. He forced Rome to adapt its military administrative system in Africa. Second, his war is a case study of indigenous resistance, desert warfare, and asymmetrical conflict, centuries before modern guerrilla war. Third, his story speaks to identity, culture, and memory. A Berber, Numidian leader whose fight is part of North African heritage today. Fourth, for us globally, we live in a world of asymmetric warfare, frontier pressures, and societal resistance. Tacfarinas shows that the strong can be challenged from unexpected places, and the tactics must adapt accordingly. Here are some surprising facts. Tacfarinas trained his troops in Roman style, but used desert mobility to win. He disrupted Rome's grain supply from Africa, a strategic move few medieval revolts ever achieved. Rome sent multiple proconsuls and legions to suppress him, more than many better-known ethnic rebellions. His name appears in Roman Senate speeches as a threat, remarkable for a barbarian, and a human story. Tacfarinas may have been a deserter from Rome's auxiliary corps. He then used that very knowledge to fight the empire. That transition, soldier to rebel, makes his story personal, relatable. His tribes, the Musulamii, were nomadic. Grazing lands were taken over by Roman roads and settlement. His war was about territory and freedom as much as military glory. Let's compare. Think of the frontier insurgencies of today: remote terrain, local knowledge, hit-and-run tactics, supply disruption. What Tacfarinas did in AD 17 to 24 mirrors that. Also, look at how many frontiers, deserts, mountains, still resist central control. The Roman Empire had to adapt, so do modern states. Lastly, Tacfarinas reminds us to look beyond the Western-centric narrative of Roman history. African, Berber, and non-Western figures shaped the ancient world too. Tacfarinas may not be a household name, but he changed how one of history's greatest empires fought, and how the fringe could challenge the center. Which other forgotten general or leader should we uncover next? Let us know in the comment. History isn't just behind us. It's right here, shaping every challenge we face. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share to the Histovian Tales channel for more hidden figures of history who turned the tables on the mighty. Thanks for tuning in.